In the state of New York, to trap marten and fisher, you only have the month of November, and you have to get a special fisher marten permit. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. It's November 5th. I was able to squeeze in one marten set yesterday because my permit came in the mail, but then it got dark. Today's Saturday. It's nice and early, so I'm going to be spending most of the day setting fisher and marten sets. If it were up to me, the month of December would be the season for fisher and marten. It doesn't really make sense to me why it's in November. You know, the fur would be a lot more prime if it was in December. Also, then you'd have snow and tracks, and so it's been warm as shit, which is kind of not ideal. I kind of have a dilemma. This is kind of like prime time to be land trapping with dirt holes and stuff before the ground totally freezes up. I've also just had some annoying, discouraging, frustrating things on the coyote line, to the point where it just hasn't been fun. So I'm gonna switch gears here, and hopefully by the end of the day I'll have a shit ton of fisher and marten sets out. I'm gonna make a little robust fisher marten series. I feel good about our chances of success. I have some spots and some history now trapping marten specifically where the chances are just really good. You know, I know where to catch them. There's my set. I can tell you just from looking at it here, something happened. The foothold. How cool would that be to have caught one on the first day? Oh my gosh. Beautiful little marten. I gotta say, that's a refreshing change of pace. I didn't expect to catch one this soon. I haven't even gotten my sets out, so cool. I'm gonna remake this set for you, show you guys what I did, and like I said, I've got some spots where I just know I know the marten are gonna be there, so knock on wood. All right. So this is the pole. It was already here. And I felt like this was just the perfect angle, the perfect width for how I like to do it. And then I used a muskrat carcass as bait, and I wired that really good to the tree and covered it in pine boughs. And then what I like to do, I like to use footholds on these running poles just because the marten tend to evade my conibears. They either jump through them or get through them. I just haven't had good luck with conibears and marten. And what I'll do is I'll just take a twist of wire like that. And the reason I do that is because most footholds have these little holes in the bottom. And what that allows me to do is basically stick my foothold on there in a way that it is secure, but also wired to the tree because we can't have animals hanging from air. That's illegal in New York. You can't have them suspended in the air. And then I like to take some moss and basically bed the trap a little bit. And that is how I do it. So I try and make it bedded kind of naturally. I put the trap pretty much right in front of the bait, just a few inches away, and make sure that bait is wired on good. That way, you know, if they try and avoid your trap, eventually as they're working at it, they're just gonna stop caring and step on that pan. You can actually see the log is kind of wet. That's because I took fish oil and drenched the log. I made a big trail of fish oil just because my jug was leaking. So from my truck all the way here, I left a trail of fish oil. And then I always take the carcass and I rub it up and down the log. And that's all there is to it. I normally use muskrats as bait, but deer works good too. I shot a deer a couple weeks ago, so I've got some venison scraps. Very important to cover your bait good. You don't want to catch a bird of prey. And I've had instances where I didn't catch it. I was lucky, but they saw through my pine boughs and ferns that I had used to cover it. So I started taking it a lot more seriously, and I really try and make it invisible from above. These are beautiful animals, but what I like to do before touching them too much is get home and I put them right in the freezer because they have fleas and it wigs me out. So we're gonna get this guy in the freezer, and after he's been in there for a few days, I'll skin him and take care of him once the fleas have died.